Marisol collected them after school in a silver-blue Ford van, all except Gabriel, who didn't show up at the pickup point. Caitlin thought about his parole and hoped he was on his way back to the institute. "Now for some testing," Joyce said when they got home. That was fine with Caitlin. She was jubilant from her first day at school, and an afternoon of testing meant an afternoon with Rob. She still hadn't figured out a plan for helping him discover she was female, but it was always at the back of her mind. Maybe an opportunity would come up spontaneously. But the first thing Joyce did was send Rob upstairs, saying she'd call him after she got the others settled. "The REG is ready, Lewis," she added. She sat Lewis down at the same study carrel as before. This time Kate was bold enough to come up behind them. "What is that thing?" she asked, looking at the machine in front of Lewis. It looked like a computer, but the monitor had a grid-marked screen with a wiggly green line running across the middle, like a hospital monitor charting a patient's heartbeat. "This is a random event generator," Joyce said. "It's a computer that does only one thing. It spits out random numbers. It's producing numbers right now. Some positive, some negative, all completely random. That's what the green line is charting. Lewis's job is to make the line go up higher, to influence the machine to spit out more positive numbers than negative numbers." "You can do that?" Kate asked, looking at Lewis in surprise. "With your mind?" "Yeah, that's what PK is, mind over matter. This is actually a lot easier than making dice come up a certain number, but I can do that too, sometimes." "Stay away from Vegas, kid," Joyce said, rapping him on the head with her knuckles. "They'd shoot out your kneecaps." She turned to Anna. Right, you. Same as yesterday. I want you to tell that mouse which hole to go in." Anna already had the white mouse out of its cage. "Come on, Mickey, let's go make history." "Right. Now, Caitlin," Joyce said. She nodded Kate toward the folding screen where Marisol was wheeling up a machine on a cart. Caitlin eyed the dials and wires apprehensively. "Don't be nervous. It's just an EEG machine," Joyce said. An electroencephalograph. It records your brainwaves." "Oh, great. That isn't the part you're not going to like. You're going to really hate this." She held up what looked like a tube of toothpaste. "It's electro cream, and it's murder to get out of your hair." Caitlin sat in the reclining chair, resigned. Marisol's thickly lashed brown eyes met Kate's only for the briefest of moments. Her full lips were curved in a bored, unchanging pout. "This is just prep stuff to clean your skin," she said, squeezing a plastic bottle over a ball of cotton. She swabbed several places on Caitlin's head, forehead and temples. "Don't move your head." She dabbed some of the toothpaste on Caitlin's temple, then dabbed more on an electrode. Caitlin watched out of the corner of her eye as the wicked-looking little thing was stuck to her. It didn't hurt. It tickled slightly. Kate shut her eyes and relaxed until Marisol finished wiring her up. "Now, Medusa," Joyce said. "As I said, we're going to monitor your brainwaves while you're doing your stuff. Brainwave levels change depending on what you're doing. Beta waves show you're attending to something. Theta waves show you're drowsy. We're looking for alpha waves, the ones usually associated with psychic activity." She saw Caitlin's expression and added, "Just try to ignore all this equipment, right? You'll be doing exactly the same thing as yesterday." Caitlin looked sideways without moving her head and saw Marisol bringing two strangers into the lab, new volunteers. Caitlin felt a sudden sharp twinge. "Joyce, is one of those volunteers for Gabriel?" "I don't know where Gabriel is, although I'd like to," Joyce said grimly, handing Kate a pencil and clipboard. "Now relax, kiddo. No blindfold or earphones this time." Caitlin shut her eyes again. She could hear some activity on the other side of the folding screen. Joyce giving a photo to the volunteer. "Right," Joyce said. "The subject is concentrating, Kate. You try and receive her thought." It was only then that Kate discovered how anxious she was. Yesterday she hadn't known what to expect. Today she did know, and she was uneasy. Worried that she wouldn't be able to perform, and worried that she would. She didn't feel like sliding down that metal chute into nothingness again. And if she did succeed, what if she drew something as grotesque as yesterday's picture? Don't think about it. Take it easy. This is what you're here for, remember? Don't you want to learn to control your power? Caitlin gritted her teeth, then made a supreme effort to relax, to tune the world out. She could hear muted voices. Still beta waves on the EEG. That was Marisol. Give her time. That was Joyce. Be calm, Caitlin thought. Ignore them. The chair's comfortable. You didn't get much sleep last night. Slowly, gradually, she felt herself sinking into drowsiness. Theta waves. Blackness. Falling. Alpha waves. Good! Caitlin's hand began to cramp and itch, but as she lifted the pencil, eyes shut, she suddenly remembered yesterday's picture. Anxiety twisted in her stomach. Back to the beta waves, Marisol said, as if announcing a death in the family. Joyce peered around the screen. Caitlin, what's wrong? I don't know. Now Caitlin felt guilty as well as anxious. I just can't focus. Joyce seemed to hesitate, then said, Right, wait a sec, and disappeared. She was back again quickly. Shut your eyes, Kate. Caitlin obeyed immediately. Automatically, rather. She felt a quick dab and then a touch of something cold on her forehead. Very cold. Now try again, Joyce said, and Kate heard her go. Again, Kate tried to relax. This time she felt the darkness swirl around her immediately. Then she felt an odd sensation, a feeling of pressure in her head, like an explosion building, and then pictures, images rushing in, almost with more force than Caitlin could stand. Alpha waves like crazy, a faraway voice said. Caitlin scarcely heard it. Nothing like this had ever happened to her before. She was too startled to be afraid. The pictures were kaleidoscopic, each passing in a flash almost before she could recognize it. Gabriel, something purple, Joyce, or someone like her, something purple and irregular, a doorway with someone standing in it, a bunch of purple round things, something tall and white, a tower, a bunch of purple, grapes. She could feel her hand moving, drawing small circles over and over on the paper. She couldn't help opening her eyes, and the instant she did, the images in her head vanished. She'd drawn a bunch of grapes. Made sense. That was the picture she'd got on most frequently. Recklessly ignoring the wires, she stood up and looked around the screen. What happened? She demanded of Joyce. I saw pictures in my head. What did you do? Joyce stood up quickly. Just put on another electrode. Caitlin put her hand to her forehead. It felt as if there was something between the electrode and her skin. Over your third eye, Marisol added stonily. Joyce glanced back at her. Marisol's olive-skinned face was expressionless. Caitlin had frozen. Her drawing yesterday. What's the third eye? According to legend, it's the seat of all psychic power, Joyce said lightly. It's in the centre of your forehead, where the pineal gland is. But why would an electrode... God, she's still in alpha waves, Marisol interrupted. Time to get you unwired, Joyce said briskly. She began pulling electrodes off. Caitlin felt the forehead one go, but Joyce's hand moved so quickly she didn't see what became of it. By the way, what did you get? Joyce asked, taking the clipboard from her. Oh, terrific, she cried. Oh, look at this, everybody. The warmth in her voice made Caitlin forget what she'd been upset about. I don't believe it. You got the target picture exactly, Kate. Exactly down to the number of grapes on the bunch. Anna and Lewis were crowding around. The volunteer, a tall girl with night dark skin, showed Kate the photo she was holding. It was a bunch of grapes, and Kate's own drawing might have been traced directly from it. That's impressive, a warm, drawling voice said from behind Caitlin. She felt her heart pick up speed. I think it was an accident, she told Rob, turning. No accident, Joyce said. Good concentration, and a good volunteer. We'll have to have you back. Rob was looking at Caitlin's face, his golden eyes darkening. Are you okay? You look kind of tired. Actually, this is so strange. I've just got a headache. Kate put her fingers to the centre of her forehead, where pain like an ice pick had suddenly begun jabbing. Oh, I guess I didn't get enough sleep last night. I think she needs a break, Rob said. Of course, Joyce said at once. Why don't you go upstairs and lie down, Kate? We're done here. Kate was wobbling on her feet. I'll help, Rob said. Hold on to me. It was the perfect opportunity, better than any plan or trick Caitlin could have thought up. And it was useless, because all at once her head hurt so badly that she only wanted to lie down and go to sleep.